Day is important because I am a woman personally. I think there's a sense of, being recognised for my achievements in a society where perhaps my achievements wouldn't have been recognised historically. But also as a mum, bringing 3 girls, so more than my fair share, and making sure they have the opportunities just as equally to anybody else in our society. So I'm literally holding a baby whilst I'm speaking to you and answering questions. So for me, one thing that employers can do is looking at ways of how do we support mothers in being able to balance that work-life balance as well. So people don't have to make a choice about whether or not they're going to pursue a career or whether or not they're going to bring up a child and so on. It can come with really practical things. So for example, if women choose to breastfeed, they have the space in which to do that and not to make them feel guilty about that. The other bit is more around how we have a culture around supporting women to return to work and not feel guilty. So my baby's been 14 weeks old. The number of times that I have been asked about, oh, you return to work very quickly, or don't you miss your babies? Why does a woman have to choose about being a mother and about being someone who's interested in their kind of professional career development? We know that mothers are often, or women in general, often are paid less than men, and the pay gap is still there. And one of that is because women often stay at home to look after their children when they're born. Now, they should absolutely have that choice, but they should equally have the choice to go, actually, I want to have a slightly different balance, and my balance is that I also want to work and to pursue my career as well. And one thing that I often say to people is that there were 2 people definitely involved in the creation of my 2 children, that they also have responsibility to make sure they're looking after and they're nurturing their children too. Being pregnant, for example, I was incredibly supported within my workplace. They were versatile, they were flexible, they adapted different things. If it wasn't for the fact that my manager was so incredibly supportive, then I might not have been able to work. I think that's that as well, that supporting women as they're going through various different changes, and there's lots of conversations there around the menopause as well, and how do we support women who are going through the menopause, and how do we make those kind of reasonable adjustments, not to say it's a disability, but how do we make reasonable adjustments to support a significant part of our workforce continuing work but also flourishing within work. I've been in meetings where I'm breastfeeding 2 babies and I'm writing minutes and I'm still present to what's being discussed. It's a bit of a physical balancing act, writing minutes and breastfeeding 2 babies, but the amount of people that don't even notice the babies are there because it's out of camera, it's not relevant and so on. Actually, my mind is still there, my cognition is there. And actually I'm present for the meeting, but I'm also present for my babies. Lots of people have different things that they can offer. Whether or not they're a mother or not, it's kind of irrelevant. You accept someone who they are and what they bring to the table. And I think as an employer, doing that for women is a really powerful statement, accepting who women are and whatever they bring and however they bring it. To be okay with who you are as an individual. So not to expose their differences, but comfortable with their differences and not necessarily to mask them, but also about accepting that difference. So for example, often there's an assumption that all women want children. Not all women want children, and that is perfectly okay. And to not denigrate other people's experiences. So I think we empower other women by just being who we are. And I think being kind to yourself can be really, really difficult. I think often being kinder to someone else is easier. But at the same time, we have to preserve ourselves and with our own self-esteem, our own motivation, our own confidence. So I think it starts with us as individuals, and then we can extend that offer to others around us. And I think that takes a lot of work. I don't think that's particularly easy, and I don't think that's particularly quick. Often quiet women are celebrated, but I think we should celebrate the more antagonistic women, women that challenge, the women that argue, the women that are fiery, the women that protest, the women that debate, but in a way that actually we should be celebrating all women, not women that fit within that kind of stereotypical idea of being meek and mild. And actually being strong and being assertive is not, it's not different to being feminine either and being a woman.